This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
The time 8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news, edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Tilani Pires. The Prime Minister visits Hambantota Port to inspect development projects. 582 more COVID-19 cases were reported today. The 15th Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka is now in progress. The Minister of Agriculture is to restrict import of seeds of 7 locally produced crops. And on foreign news, Belarus opposition leader Tikhonsky was jailed for 18 years over protests. Constructions of the first bonded warehouse complex, Hambantota International Logistics Centre at Magam Ruhunupura Mahinda Rajapaksa Harbour commenced today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Prime Minister attended the event on an invitation from Chief Executive Officer of Hambantota International Port Group, Johnson Liu. The Prime Minister also, along with the Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Ki Zhenghong, made an inspection tour of the port premises. Chief Executive Officer of Hambantota International Port Group, Johnson Liu, pointed out to the Prime Minister that 500,000 vehicles have been reshipped by the port this year to many international harbours. Prime Minister Rajapaksa paid a special attention on plug and play zone belonging to Shenzhen Shri Group, which is being built at the Industrial Zone Electronic Equipment Manufacturing Industrial Zone on the concept of Park-in-Park Zone and Tyre Manufacturing Factory of Ceylon Tyre Products Private Company. Raw material and manpower for the tyre manufacturing factory are sourced locally. $600 million are invested over 2 years to build the tyre factory in 2 stages, which is spread over 55 hectares. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 20 more coronavirus-related deaths. For December 14th, increase in the death toll in the country due to the virus pandemic to 14,661. According to the figures released by the Government Information Department, the deaths reported today include 10 males and 10 females. The Ministry of Health says 582 more COVID-infected persons were reported today, increasing the total case load in the country to 576,014. Meanwhile, 335 more COVID-19 patients were discharged from medical care today. This brings the total number of recoveries reported in the country to 545,768. 15,023 patients are currently receiving treatment. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank.
The 15th Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka 2021 is now in progress. Census of Population and Housing in Sri Lanka is conducted every 10 years and in accordance with the powers vested in it by the Census Ordinance, the Department of Census and Statistics plans to conduct the next census in the year 2021. The census provides the demographics, geographical distribution, ethnic distribution, and demographic and social characteristics of the population, as well as qualitative and timely data and information on housing at the Gram and Ledari divisional level required for the formulation and planning of national policies. Accordingly, the listing phase of the census was held online during the past few months. The Director General of the Census and Housing Department, Anura Kumara, says that the counting phase was also completed and data dissemination is to be completed by May 2022. That ends local news for now.
A range of unmatched benefits with People's Credit Cards from People's Bank. Discounts up to 60% and interest-free installment plans from selected merchants.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Minister of Agriculture is considering the restriction of the importation of seeds of 7 locally produced crops next year. At a discussion held at the Minister of Agriculture yesterday, Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage said that the program to produce seeds of 6 crops, namely potato, onion, chili, red onion, unzu, maize and peanut in the country has already achieved successful results. Navalapitiya Alutgama chili seed production village has already produced 1,500 kilos of hybrid seeds and is currently producing bee onion seeds at Dambulla Digampatana farms. Meanwhile, it was revealed that potato seeds are being produced at the Nuwara government farm. It was also pointed out that the import of seeds for these crops could be restricted before the end of next year, as red onion, unzu, groundnut and maize seeds are also being produced successfully. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddha Lepa Vedamahatmya.
Continuing with Watch Light this evening, health officials say a decision has been made to subject the people in Colombo who violate health rules during the festive season to rapid antigen tests. Chief Medical Officer of the Colombo Municipal Council, Ruan Vijamuni, said that special attention will be paid to those who do not wear masks and do not keep personal distance. He said that the assistance of the police will be sought to implement this program, which is implemented as a measure to control the spread of COVID during the festive season. That came to you in Watchlight. Coming up, World News. The headlines first. Belarus opposition leader Tikhanovsky was jailed for 18 years over protests. 7.4 magnitude quake shakes South Sulawesi in Indonesia. The UN says Arctic heat record is like Mediterranean. A Belarusian opposition leader who rallied mass protests against disputed leader Alexander Lukashenko has been jailed for 18 years. Sergei Tikhanovsky was convicted of organizing riots, among other charges, following a trial condemned as a sham. He planned to challenge Mr. Lukashenko in the 2020 presidential election but was detained before the vote. His wife, Svetlana Tikhanovsky, took on Mr. Lukashenko, who claimed victory in the widely discredited poll. A 7.4 magnitude earthquake struck off the coast of Indonesia's South Sulawesi province, prompting people to evacuate homes and buildings. The earthquake happened around 10:30 local time today in the Flores Sea. It affected the East Nusa Tenggara region, officials said. No injuries or major damage has been reported yet, but locals said they felt large tremors. Tsunami warnings for the area were lifted later today. The highest temperature ever recorded in the Arctic, 38 Celsius, has been officially confirmed, sounding alarm bells over Earth's changing climate. The World Meteorological Organization, WMO, today verified the record reported in the Siberian town of Verkhovsky on 20th June last year. The World Meteorological Organization, WMO, today verified the record reported in the Siberian town of Verkhovyansk on 20th June last year. The temperature was 18 Celsius higher than the area's average daily maximum for June. The WMO, a UN agency, said the extreme heat was more befitting the Mediterranean than the Arctic. Back to the world news headlines. Belarus opposition leader Tikhanovsky was jailed for 18 years over protests. 7.4 magnitude quake shakes South Sulawesi in Indonesia. The UN says Arctic heat record is like Mediterranean. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On development news, the Minister of Tourism, Prasanna Ranatunga, says 9 tourist attractions selected to cover all 9 provinces of the country will be developed as sustainable tourist destinations. The project is being implemented with the support of the United Nations Development Fund's Biodiversity Financing Initiative. Sigiriya Sustainable Destination, Pilikuntua, Local Heritage Destination, Vanathavilluwa, Gagevadiya Destination, Ellavala, Alla Nature Destination, Vaulapane limestone cave destination, Delph Islands, Madunagala hot springs, Panama villages and Mihintale are the 9 destinations. That came to you in development news.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news. The stage is set for the greatest extravaganza in local school cricket, the 43rd Observer SLT Mobitel Schools Cricketers of the year 2021. The event is being held at the BMICH, Colombo 7 now. Prior to the commencement of the official program this evening, the supergiant screen erected at the BMICH Centre will screen the highlights of the 1996 ICC World Cup final between Sri Lanka and Australia, won by the Lions. This will be in honour of Sri Lanka's World Cup winning captain, Arjuna Ranatunga, who graces the mega show as the chief guest. That came to you in Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSP U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The central bank has said it will give 10 rupees above the 200 to the US dollar non-credible peg to persons who have dollar notes at home who will convert or deposit them in their dollar accounts. Banks will have to surrender 10% to the central bank. The general public is encouraged to deposit, convert or invest foreign currency with them immediately, the central bank said in a letter to licensed banks. That came to you in Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
And on economic news, Sri Lanka's unemployment had dropped to 5.1% in the second quarter of 2021 from 5.7% in the first quarter, the State Statistics Office said. Compared to a year earlier, 105,000 jobs had been created, but compared to the previous quarter, 99,018 jobs had been lost. Sri Lanka's unemployment went up from around 4.5% in 2019 and peaked at 5.8% in the third quarter of 2020, amid a coronavirus pandemic. That was economic news.
Economic news, courtesy of
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011. Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report. The Met Department says the northeast monsoon has established over the island. A low-level atmospheric disturbance is developing to the south of Sri Lanka. Showers will occur at times in the eastern, central and Nuva provinces and in Matara, Hambantota and Polonnaruwa districts. Fairly heavy falls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in those areas. Several spells of showers will occur in the northern province and in the Anuradhapura district. That was the weather report, and now to end this news broadcast the main points once again. The Prime Minister visits Hambantota port to inspect development projects. 582 more COVID-19 cases were reported today. The 15th census of population and housing in Sri Lanka is now underway. The Minister of Agriculture is to restrict import of seeds of 7 locally produced crops. In foreign news, Belarus opposition leader Tikhonskiy was jailed for 18 years over protests. That ends this news broadcast.